but still a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Dave Harmony.
Sweatshirt.
So he was crappy.
There we go.
Was that 2008?
Yeah, 2008 championship jersey. Also in the
Oh,
house,
I'm sorry, Jim. Yes, it was.
Thanks.
That's right. Put it
No, it's fine, Chris.
we have the master of ceremonies, Jim Berwitz,
And
fresh
Chris
off the
Feld on
road,
the phone.
and Chris
Say
Feld
hello,
on the
Chris.
phone.
Hello, Chris.
Say it again.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe we got that, maybe we
That may or
didn't.
may
Don't
not
know.
be on it.
And we have Will and Kelly off on the sidelines cheering. And we have Jimmy.
Oh, jeez.
He's a fan. He's here just for the moment to eat pizza and drink beer. All right. So
So he's sort of Brett Saberhagen of outfielders.
what we have here is
Okay, Dave is limbering up. He's stretching.
we have the 10-sided die.
Ed's got the 10-sided die ready to go.
And
Which
there's
next year it'll be an 8-sided die.
next year will be the 8-sider. So basically, Dave's gonna roll it, and
Don't roll a 1, Dave. Anything but a 1, my friend.
Dave
No ones, no deuces.
kind of roll it that way. And if it bounces off the wall, that's fine.
Okay, so it's got to stay on the counter, right?
It
If
has to
goes
stay on the
floor-
counter, or if it hits something, it's a re-roll.
Okay, so it's got to be the wall's okay.
The wall's okay. The wall's
All right.
legit.
Here we
Here
go.
we go.
So not too
You
hard.
ready? Strap yourself
Drum roll,
in.
please.
Oh, it hit that, so do it
That's a
over.
good thing.
It hit something.
That was a
Okay,
one.
we got to do it again.
All right, so let's do it again, Dave.
That did not hit anything. It's it's on its end. Holy smokes, the drama. Oh, it's still spinning. It's like Inception. It's a 2.
It's a 2.
Dave rolled a 2.
Is that good?
That's not good for me. I
Not
lost
good
Victor
for me.
Martinez. Chris lost Billy Wagner. Chris just fired up a curse word.
Okay, Jim, you want to go through the list of
Yeah.
guys that are liberated?
Okay, so that means from the top.
Who's that? Chuck into the draft from your
I know what it means for me, and I know what it means for Chris. Obviously.
You'd rather lose him than Hanley, wouldn't you?
That's better than Hanley, yeah. So
So you're scrolling through that list.
yeah, the Sluggers lost Soria.
Do you need more?
Ouch.
The Sluggers lost Joaquin Soria. Chris lost Bill Wagner. His friends call him Billy. Sweat Sox lost Michael Bourne, so that worked out well for him.
Yeah.
I lost my catcher, Victor Martinez. Dave lost Troy Tulowitzki. Sorry, buddy. You rolled it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Steve lost Buster Posey.
Ouch.
Laughlin lost Buster Posey. That is going to be an angry man. Who is this? Mitch lost Cordero. I'm assuming that's Francisco Cordero.
Guess
K-Rod.
so. K-Rod is Francisco Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be.
Any other
It's got to be
Cordero?
Francisco.
Okay.
Will's not around anymore, so
No, it was not Will Cordero.
yeah.
Crawford lost Angel Pagan.
Hmm.
Next page. The short bus lost Andrew McCutcheon. Pretty good player. Oh my God, Jimmy lost Jim Tomei. The best hitter in the league against righties. Ed lost Jack Cust.
Okay, we can live with that.
He can live with that. The Senators lost Sean Burnett. I didn't even know he was kept. He's pretty good though.
Yeah.
I was looking at him today. Darren lost Ryan Braun. I'm glad he's not here.
Me and him got the worst of it.
The Playboys lost Gallardo.
Ooh.
Wallace lost Beltran.
Carlos Beltran.
Ben lost Torrey Hunter. He was pretty good. Oh my God, Chatham's gonna shut down. Adam lost Jason Worth. Pat Mooney just fired a beer against the wall. He's really upset. Matt lost Vladimir.
Maybe he'll go out and sign a big
Guerrero.
contract though with someone.
He's gonna take that truck back.
Yeah.
Pat lost Andre Ethier. Hank lost Bend It Like Beckham. guess that's it. Was that 20?
If you went through all, they're all there.
That's
so
the last
is that page 3? There's 3 pages. All right.
That didn't feel like 20 guys.
Well, that was a lot of guys.
All right, I'm gonna start writing them down so I can
All
type.
right. Well, that's it.
There you go. Well, that's
Read
there's
them
a
and
lot-
weep.
That pen. Do you got another pen?
Or is it Will Clark?
Or is it?
What do you want for Darren Weaver?
He's available.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. This was what? 92, 93. What do you think?
Yeah, right around there.
He's got a Florida State hat on. Looks like.
Definitely early 90s then.
Have either of you guys ever had a reliever in this league with a pour fatigue?
Probably.
Fair, never poor.
I mean, I just don't.
Good luck with
What
that.
constitutes? It's like Ron Mayhay, a poor, like 70 games, 40 innings. Is that what it takes?
That's about this one. About what this guy was at.
Who?
Thatcher.
Yeah, he's about like 0.5 innings per appearance.
So I mean, here's the thing: is like
One batter.
here's a left-handed reliever who righty slugged 172 against. He didn't have an extra base hit off of it, and but he's a poor. I mean, what can I get 40 innings?
40.
I mean,
You'll get more
I
than
think you'll
40.
get 60.
I mean,
That's what I'm thinking. Because you'll work them a little harder than.
But even
Probably.
guys like Rivera, who are
You get
what
110
usually,
out of
you get a
him,
bunt, yeah.
120.
So you might get 70, 80 innings.
But
out of
he's
that.
in a unique situation. He doesn't walk anyone.
Neither does that guy.
Thatcher didn't either. So that's the thing. That's the thing he might have going for him because he walked. He had 7, but I think 3 or 4 were intentional. Because he ended up with. Well, he had 5 walks and 35 innings.
That's pretty good.
Good rate. I mean,
That's-
one every 7
That's
innings.
Not
So, yeah.
quite accurately, but pretty
Right.
good.
And he struck out 45 guys.
So I have to ask you
45 and
guys-
35 innings. So.
I have to admit, no comments on the shrine from.
I mentioned the Rio poster. We'll have to show those before we sign off. But we have the Eric the Red poster, circa 1987.
Yeah.
Always one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then Red Hot Rio with the little barbershop hat on.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, like that.
I love Derek Davis. That was one of the best things about that.
But that just shows you, people on TV can't see this, but what's he weigh there? 180? Because he was pretty tall. He was a
He
basketball
was
player.
like 6'3".
He was one of the best power hitters in the league. He weighed,
He was like Hank Aaron.
less than all
He
of
had
us.
he had the super strong wrists, and that's what he always.
He was great.
It might have been a little more, but you're right. He's compared to a
180,
lot of players,
185, I don't know what he
players
weighed.
now. I mean,
No body fat. I mean,
now, like, what isn't Ronnie Cedeno about the same size?
yeah, probably.
But yeah, he had incredible wiry wrist strength.
Okay, so we're on TV, and we just had the dice roll. So we're here to break this down scientifically and otherwise.
Scientifically.
Yes.
Starlin Castro at 6 foot 190. So he's not
So
quite
he's
as tall.
not as tall, but he's thicker than.
So Starlin Castro would kill that guy in a fight. Just clown.
Yeah, but if Grammy Lloyd was there,
Grammy Lloyd is pretty tough.
game over.
Although I didn't think he was 20 years ago or
6'8",
whatever it was.
does 6'8" mean you're tough?
Jim was taking
Automatically.
him out.
Well, not
He's got reach.
necessarily. He would beat me up.
Alright, so you fight Chris real quick and let's see.
Yeah, there'd be a reach problem. I
Lloyd's
think,
by
if Chris
Tucker.
and I
Tucker
fought.
me.
Dave Harmony rolled a 2. There was some controversy because even though Ed instructed him not to roll it off something, he rolled it off something, and that was a 1, so we redid it, and it was a 2. So
What do
what
you
that
got, Dave?
meant was, well, Dave took one in the shorts,
Oh, I know he did.
unfortunately.
I know he did. He lost. I mean, we were just talking about this when you were downstairs. I mean, if we were starting this league over again, I mean, Tulowitzki's probably a top 10 pick, don't you think?
It's gotta be. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean-
The Rocky thing might maybe push him back a little bit.
An injury thing. He's a
Oh,
injury
is
prone
he?
this
Is he
year.
prone? Okay.
122 games this year. Yeah. So that's 2 out of the last 4 years.
Is it Hanley injury prone also?
Could be.
I don't know.
Guys named Hanley should be. Hanley. Whoever.
Their lack of
It is
hustle
kinda gay,
prone.
isn't it? It's just, not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but
Not
it's-
being thrown with that.
I suspect it's a little bit gay.
It's like the,
Hanley doesn't mean manly, does it?
Like Dexter?
Like the-
no. No.
So Dave lost Troy Tulowitzki. So will he be the #1 pick in the draft. Steve has the first pick. Steve won 35 games last year.
35.
You won
That's
that
not
many?
like in 81 games. That's
Right.
in
That's 162.
I think
Steve
Chris,
won.
That's the worst ever.
that is it.
That's
Well,
embarrassing. That's bad.
Eric
That's bad for America.
Eric had an expansion team, but even then, I think it was better. He could have been. I think he went 18 and 64, 19 and 63, 20.
What year was that? Do you know? Do you remember?
Well, he had,
Early 90s.
his best player was an injured McGuire,
But Eric won the next year, right?
who hit 190.
Is
or
that how that worked out?
192.
Didn't Eric win the World
You're
Series the
asking the
following
wrong-
year?
I don't know.
Where's Darren when you need
I
him?
don't know.
Yeah.
But his he was historically bad there. But since we switched to Diamond Mine, that's,
Which was 99 we switched over, is that right?
yeah, Chipper MVP.
And Jay had a
I knew
really
that.
Jay had a really bad team in that stretch, remember? There was one Jay Crawford team that won like
50 something.
so way better than Steve.
But that was a few years in because Jay
Yeah.
wasn't in the original, was he?
No, he
I
wasn't.
don't know.
He wasn't the original.
That was several years in.
When did Jay take Paul Abbott? That's the question. That America wants to know.
His first year in the league, it was the year. It was our second year because it was the year after.
And who went
you
right?
had Paul Abbott.
Because Paul Abbott was awesome.
He's kind of set the mold.
The
for
Jedi
Paul
mind
Abbott's.
trick.
That's a strategy, you know, as you
It works. Congratulations.
as you elevate certain players.
You take a player, somehow force
You
them to
take-
have a great season, and then trick other
You
people
take
to
a
think it just
giant,
carries over.
a flaming bag of poop, and you
Well-
convince somebody that it's
Kind of
gold.
a flaming, kind of semi-extinguished bag of poop.
Paul Abbott was good
Paul Abbott.
in '99.
But you know what? Paul Abbott created a kind of
A model.
the template
Yeah.
for what you wanted in a reliever. A guy who had good numbers, who could throw 200 innings on the pitch.
Somehow.
Well, you know,
Jim Marshall on steroids.
we're not, you know, hey, we only keep like 10 guys, so you don't really care about half.
But back then we
So,
kept more than that, right? Didn't we keep like 15, 20,
Yeah, still,
30?
you know.
Too many.
I'm not in charge of his, 2000 workload. That was Lou.
Another administration.
That was Lou in Seattle at the time. So it was, I can only do what I can do.
Okay,
So.
that's fair enough. All right,
Tim Stauffer is your 2011 Paul Abbott.
there you go. Write it
so
down, America.
2012, were we looking for a J draft of Tim Stauffer?
Tim Stauffer.
Tim Stauffer.
We'll be terrible at that point.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
He'll be in the rotation. He'll get exposed for the okay pitcher.
It's the fraud he really
For the
is.
okay pitcher that he is.
For the fraud he really
You know.
is. So will Steve take Troy Tulowitzki?
Unless
That's
he's
the
a-
first question.
Unless he's an idiot.
Unless he's an idiot, which he might be.
No,
No, Ed says no.
He
no.
takes Buster.
He has a pretty complete team. Jim Tomei is the best bat out there.
Jim
By
Tomei
a long shot.
demolished
What's that?
righties.
Who's his shortstop?
I think it's Jose Reyes. I think that's who he kept.
Serviceable, not
I don't know
good.
his numbers.
Not very good. He hit lefties pretty well.
Well, let's quickly go
is-
through
Established.
Is Jim
There you
Tomei
go.
playing? What's Steve's team's name? Is he going
the
to
Stormtroopers, the Huntley
Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
Is Tomei a stormtrooper in 2014? He's a moron if he doesn't take Tulowitzki though. You get to keep three guys.
Next year you
protected.
keep 3 guys.
Jim Tomei is good.
I know he's good. I know
He's the
good.
best hitter in the league.
I don't think personally Steve will take a 40-year-old DH with the first overall pick.
I think there's a reasonably good chance he'll take his catcher back.
Buster
Posey.
Posey, who Steve also lost to the
I
Dutch
could-
Bowl.
Yeah.
That's arguable. Catcher's tough.
Catcher in San Francisco, young.
Played some
Probably
first base
his
too.
better years are ahead of him, probably.
San Francisco for righties plays neutral, relatively.
There
A
you go. That's why
little-
we have him sitting
a little
right there.
slight.
That's right.
I just looked this up yesterday. For lefties, it's death.
Mm.
But
So Andres
Slight
Torres is a
Bad
great pick.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I mean seriously,
I like
He's-
Andres Torres actually.
He hammered, right?
he's way older than I thought he'd be.
How old is he?
28, is he?
31?
Wow.
Older than 31.
I'll give you the- I want to say that he's
31 and a half.
32.
I think Tomei would be a good pick. There was one
That would be a
guy-
great pick.
Oh, Ryan Braun.
Ryan Braun,
I think would be a
who
good
Darren
pick.
lost.
But I don't know what he needs. I don't know
Hey.
his roster.
I don't.
Andres
Appreciate it.
Torres, today is the 22nd.
Yes.
Tuesday or Wednesday turns 33.
I had no idea.
Oh. Kudos to
Yes.
Andres for hanging around.
Yeah.
I'm learning all
If he
sorts of
needs an
things.
outfielder, Ryan Braun would be a great.
Jason Worth, part of Chatham, Illinois, sitting out there.
That's the best
A
outfielder
big,
out there.
a big Chris Feld fan, Michael Bourne, the
Wow.
Bourne Identity.
Okay, well that won't.
He will not take.
Well,
Who's that?
That is Victor Martinez, my guy.
Yeah,
Sadly.
I won't take him either.
Yeah, my writing's atrocious. I apologize. Buster Posey. Well, let's go through
Is that
this
Paul
really
McCartney?
quick. Yeah, Paul McCartney's in the draft. Ringo Starr also in the draft.
Excellent.
So the twos who got lost to the Dave Harmony dice roll were Gordon Beckham, Andre Ethier, Vladimir Guerrero, Andrew McCutcheon, Jim Thome, Jack Cust, Sean Burnett, who I didn't even know was kept, but you learn something new every day.
There you
Ryan Braun, Ivani Gallardo, Carlos Beltran, Troy Hunter, Worth, Soria, Wagner, Bourne,
Shit.
Victor Martinez, Tulowitzki, Buster Posey, a Cordero we haven't identified yet, who we think is Francisco Cordero,
go.
and Angel. Hey, nice.
There's only the
Nice.
one. There's only the one Cordero. So
Angel Pagan. That's your 20 member.
so
John Lennon.
so who
John-
got off easiest then?
Who got off the
Good
easiest,
question.
Ed? I would say whoever lost Michael Bourne.
Born
Well, who's
I don't know,
useful.
I
He's
would
not. He's not
argue-
terrible.
Francisco Cordero,
'Cause
maybe.
he's a reliever.
Or Angel Pagan.
And Pagan.
Gordon Beckham's overall numbers aren't very good.
Is he born? Maybe I would think he probably was a very good, or maybe excellent in the outfield.
I want to say that he was again. He is very very good or excellent. for
Sean
inside.
Burnett, the guy who lost Sean Burnett, whoever that
He's
is.
good though,
He's a lefty.
but I think he's a lefty who's better against righties.
Yeah, but his numbers aren't. I mean,
Or was it the year before? he
he's
was really
good. He's good. But he's not. He's not a hammer. or anything
Cordero's
like
just.
that.
I don't remember his numbers right offhand.
A
but from what I
semi-wild
recall,
closer.
Is his strength in the past was like a reasonably low number of hits allowed, but this year he's wild and his hits are about an inning.
Yeah,
It's like-
Cordero might be the one.
That's
Bourne
probably right.
again.
What
Bourne.
about Pagan? I don't know dick about him.
Bourne's not awesome by any stretch, but for a guy who's that fast, which is an advantage, you can score from second on every hit to the outfield or whatever. Good arm, very good or excellent, especially he's excellent in center.
3 really good movies.
He had it. There you go. He 354,
I like those moves. I like those
354 on
moves.
base against righty, which is pretty good for a center fielder. in this
Fourth
league.
outfielder, I'd take that.
So losing Jason Bourne probably not good
Not-
ever because he's very dangerous. He can shoot,
You
run,
don't
take-
think-
fight.
Can take care of some things for him.
Yeah.
But
I
Pagan.
like the movie soundtrack.
Again, I don't know if
Good
Pagan's a better hitter. 353, slugged over 400, where, Bourne, 2 years, it takes him 2 years to slug 400. So, I mean, Pagan hit 300. There's a couple things I thought
What
were,
about Cordero? Did you look him up?
he's, like, I think what Jim
Assuming
said.
we have the right Cordero.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or Chad. I don't think we had Chad, so,
I hope not. I really hope not. Like you said, Will Cordero doesn't play
Okay.
baseball anymore.
well, there you go. Just looking at the split stats, who lost Scudero?
We're not sure.
Mitch. No, I know. It was
Oh,
Mitch.
Ed knows. There you go.
Mitch.
Mitch gets the prize for the John Smoltz Memorial
The
Award of
Was that the year you kept him because he was
He was
worse than who you wanted to keep, but you thought you would lose him? Is that how that worked?
No, he was okay against righties.
yeah.
But wasn't
and
that the
I
theory
just thought that he was going to play, and it was a function of not having anybody
Did
else.
he,
Okay,
did he
fair
even get redrafted?
Mm,
That may be kind of the benchmark here for how bad a loser.
I may have redrafted him.
Oh, really? But maybe
Somebody
not.
probably
But
did.
maybe not.
Because he was a Red Sox or something, right?
Well, because he ended up. I mean, he had like a good fall. He went to the Red Sox and pitched, and there's the talk that he might pitch for them again. He didn't. Just retired or whatever. But all you need to know
I
about.
think that would be interesting, not to cut you off,
No, no,
Chris,
no.
but I think it'd be really interesting as kind of like looking back on the players that were lost and stuff.
I would love
kinda
to do that.
evaluate it. It'd be interesting to see if, you know, a player gets lost but not even get drafted.
Shane, if you're watching, that's a job for you.
Yeah.
Dig into that for us.
Um,
That would be excellent.
All you need to know about Francisco Cordero is lefties this last year had a 393 on base against him.
Okay.
Not
Hang
good.
over.
Bad for America. The terrorists
Yeah.
are winning.
I mean, you know, the 274. You know, they didn't slug much, 350, and that is Great American Ballpark is what people think Citizens Park is, because Citizens Park was not a big offensive park last year. That's one of the things I looked at. We're actually,
Actually, I thought it was something there. It was actually decent.
it depends. I mean,
This is unscripted, by the way.
It
We're winging it.
It depends on what you look at. On it, it depends on what you're looking for.
I did see an interesting stat, not to bring this up, but
Throw it out there.
in his career, Jason Worth
Uh oh.
hits over
Hang on.
290 in Citizens Park and slugs like 520 or 530. I saw this on MLB Network. And everywhere else, he hits 240-ish, 430.
Washington may
That's his,
find out.
across his whole career. Across the whole career.
Right. Well, and that could be across the whole career. I mean, I sort of, you know, I'm mainly looking for his last 3 healthy years. I'm not sure that. And again, I would say this for just about anybody. I like.
But that's still
what
really
Chipper
good
did, what
numbers
Chipper
in-
Jones did in 2004 isn't very relevant. to
Chipper
what he's gonna
Jones?
do in 2011, and that's what I look at. Same sort of.
That's fair.
And so I mean, I'm looking at anybody the last 3 years, and that's why I'm high on Jason Jensen going forward. I mean, he was arguably the best outfielder in the National League last year. Matt Holliday can make a case, which is
Matt Holliday was awfully good.
which is surprising to me that they were. But they're right. They're very close to each other. I mean, they're. You could say
Who else
maybe
was
one
really
guy
good
is-
National League outfielder last year?
It's a weak crop.
Yeah, they're really.
Nobody's springing to mind.
Well, I mean, the guys you would normally consider were hurt, you know, like a Carlos Beltran, for example.
Right.
Ryan Braun
Had a down year.
had a down year, but
And Corey Hart had an up year for him, and
He did.
he's probably in the top 10, and that tells you
Still
something
didn't get
right
on base,
there.
probably.
Andres Torres is one of the, I mean, and that tells you something there. I mean, there's no Padre outfielders, or you know, you got Carlos Gonzalez, you get the whole Rocky,
Cargo was really
you get the
good.
Rocky crew. That,
oh yeah, Carlos Gonzalez.
I
I mean, he shouldn't have been an MVP candidate, but he was great.
right. I mean,
He had a great year.
You know what?
he had
Those numbers-
790 ops on the road.
His
That's-
road numbers
Well,
were.
are you sure? He
We have a stat book. We can find
is
it.
it
Yeah.
on there.
Oh,
He
no,
actually
it isn't.
finished a lot better. When I dealt him, he sucked on the road, and by the end of the year, what are you looking
I'm
at?
pretty sure it was about 790.
That's gonna go
That's what I
check.
heard.
I'm still here, guys.
Okay. While we're
Don't have the
waiting,
road stuff.
ladies and gentlemen, Chris, who is most likely to quit the league over the player they lost? Dave left the house tonight, but
With a
was
smile.
not quitting.
He had a smile on his face.
He's all in for 2011.
Wow.
So it's not going to be Dave.
Well,
We got a sort of a cryptic text from Darren. He was not very happy about losing Ryan Braun.
he's not. Gonna
Jimmy Saccone was legitimately crushed. Is that fair to say, Ed?
Something along the lines of, my best player was lost and I didn't have much else to work with.
So you guys go straight to hell, and then he logged off. No, I'm just kidding about that part. Steve Laughlin has to be really disappointed tonight, wherever he is.
775 ops on the road.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah, very
I,
good.
I was giving him more credit than he deserved.
I'll,
Cargo,
say you nailed it.
775 ops on the road, in case you didn't hear that, ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen.
2010. This is right-handed hitters in their home or park National League park ratings here, and this is the Bill James handbook. It was a little different than
Hold it
Diamond
up,
Mine.
show the people.
1162 at home.
It's pretty good. That's a good number.
These are the best home run parks in the National League if you're a right-handed hitter. This is just 2010. Colorado,
Philadelphia.
the Reds, Brewers, Cubs, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Nationals, Phillies.
Really?
2010.
That's interesting.
What over the last 3 years?
Last 3 years is Reds, Rockies, Astros, Diamondbacks, Phillies, and there's a big difference between like Phillies, Cubs, Giants, 102.
That surprises.
So this is and they do a little weird. I'm not sure. I think they do it home runs per game, which I don't think is a very good way to do it. So you get a little different number, but over 3 years that number is better. So the thing is, like Phillies and Cubs are 105, so it's a little better than neutral. So it's not a huge difference there. Whereas the Reds 125. That's a big gap.
What about like doubles? And
There's a big of a gap between the Phillies, which are at 5 in the National League, and the Reds, as there is between the Phillies and the Mets, which is second to last. So
Interesting.
Cardinals. So tells you the greatness of Pools 77 3-year
Yeah.
rating.
Or even
But-
lower this year, a few years ago.
But the Nationals is hard to say because you're talking about 2 different parks over 3 years. The National 3-year ranking, because they've been in that park 2 years.
2 years.
The National 3-year rating is 97, and the Phillies is 105.
What about last year? What was the Nationals ranking?
Was 110, and the Phillies was 108. So
Huh.
basically the same thing. But again, what it comes down to is that you have a couple parks, City, PNC, and Busch Stadium that are really low, and the Marlins.
Yeah. Mike Stan.
Marlins
Love Mike
70
Stan.
Marlins 77.
What is he, about 47 now?
He doesn't throw very hard anymore.
So-
How is that guy still in baseball, really? Everybody talks about Jamie Moyer, but Mike Stan.
Steroids.
yeah.
The thing is,
Darker
because of-
complexion, it's just,
There you go. Because of some of the parks at the end, or some of the teams at the end here. I mean, 11 of the 16 National League teams have 100 or better right-handed. Of course, you throw in some American League parks, with interleague play and whatnot. But I mean, you're looking here. 11 National League parks have a positive home run factor.
so the ones
It
that
just-
are low are real low.
When people talk about, and again, who knows how the hell it's going to work out. But when people, one of the things I've seen is like, and Jason's going from Coors Field to the Astrodome, like, it's not that much difference between those parks basically, as far as a right-handed hitter is concerned. The worst thing is that he's going to face the Phillies 19 times versus facing
The Nationals.
the Nationals 19 times, or 18, or however it works out. That would be probably the worst thing for him, which is, you look at some of the guys that have moved, like Markham and Garza. That's going to be a nice little treat for them, I think.
It'll be interesting.
Of
For
course, I
sure.
don't know who the NL Central plays in the Interleague this year.
They play the
If it's
American League East, I think. I think the Cubs and the Yankees are playing again.
No? Maybe Garza will get skipped or something.
I could be wrong about that.
No, that's
Probably
not
am.
He has experience against the Yankees, so that means
Right.
they'll make sure he pitches right. Because he'll know how to do it.
Hopefully it'll be like a hot August. I guess
They
they'll
go
have
7th
at that
anniversary.
point, but,
Yeah.
um,
All right, so riddle me this, Batman. Of these players who went into the draft tonight, who would you call an impact player, somebody who's likely to go in the first round, or somewhere high in the draft? Let's say Gordon Beckham. What do you guys think? Just overall, what do you guys think of him?
I like him, but I don't think I'd be surprised if he goes in the top 5 unless somebody or top 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's just playing for the future. I mean, if I had no chance,
Like me?
that's a guy I'd be looking at. Because, he had a big second half.
Will he play third
He can
base again
play-
next year? Is that the plan?
I think that Cuban guy's going to be their third baseman.
Oh, really? Where do they
Yeah.
play? Second?
Who else is at second?
Oh, that's right, they don't play Alexi at second.
Ramirez is at
Let's
short.
play short.
I mean, Beckham's their second baseman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's right. That's right. My brain cramped. on
because
that.
the other guy. I mean, the Cuban guy was actually good. He just didn't have enough at bats. He had 120. He had 120 good at bats. I was kind of
They also drafted a third baseman like a year or two ago, didn't they?